Hi guys, it's reaction time. We got Seventh Crystal and Higher Ground. Man, I love their debut album. Come out a couple of years ago. I'll tell you what it was about that album as well. I mean, I liked it first of all. I reviewed it. I said it was a great album. Good to great probably is the way I felt about it first of all. And then through that year, repeated listens, the hooks, the melodies, real subtle at first, but just grew and grew and grew. And now I can't get enough of the Seventh Crystal debut album, Delirium. It was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And now they've got another album coming out, March, on Frontiers, of course. It's called Wonderland. This song's called Higher Ground. Just looking at the track list in Wonderland, the title track is first, Higher Ground's the second one. Not that that really means anything these days, but one of the reasons, I mean, the band are brilliant. This band are just so cool at writing melodies, you know. Every song is, like I said, it's a grower. They've almost got a sort of pop feel to some of the structures in their songs, but the guitar's there as well, which just adds to the AOR feel, I suppose, but maybe a bit heavier sometimes. I mean, I remember listening to the album Delirium first of all, and like lots of piano parts and things like that. And I'm not a massive piano fan, but you know what, man, they just do it perfectly. And it's sort of made the piano itself more of a liked instrument for me, just through the Seventh Crystal album. I think it was used perfectly. I think they are an absolutely fantastic band. I really do, and a lot of that's to do with Christian Fair. I'm a great, you know, a big fan of Christian Fair on lead vocals, and of course, he's done other things across some projects this year. Ginevra, I kept saying Geneva, didn't I? It is Ginevra, isn't it? Whatever it is, that band he was with last year, great album. He's been on the Perpetuetude album the year before as well, the same year that the Seventh Crystal had an album out. He was brilliant on that. But I think, you know, him, Christian Fair, in this band is where I prefer him out of all the bands he's in and all the projects he does. So, apart from Christian Fair on lead vocals, you've got Johan Alfsang on the keys and backing vocals, Emil Joneris on the guitar backing vocals, Gustav Linde on the guitar, Olaf Gadd on the bass and backing vocals, and Anton Roos on the drums and percussion. And you know what, the keys, the synths and that are a big part of this band. And that's another, you know, surprise for myself, that they're not massively synth heavy, but they are one of the main instruments. And I surprised myself by how much I love Delirium, because, you know, I always say guitar, give me guitar, but I think it just depends how you use them, how tastefully you use them. And Seventh Crystal are just fucking brilliant. I love this band. Without further ado, I've really been getting excited about hearing this. I saw on their Facebook page they've got a new single coming out. It's here. It came out today, not so long ago. 2 hours ago it says here, and I'm already here ready to react. So here we go, Seventh Crystal and Higher Ground.
Everybody opens up their eyes before it is too late. It doesn't really matter what people think, but deep inside it hurts. So dye your hair, change the colors of your clothes into black. Wear the shades just to cover your eyes. Like dentists wiped out, screaming for attention like a teenager was trying to find a way alive. Still reaching for higher ground. Need to He showed strength enough like no one could. Never shed a tear. So does it really matter what people think? You prove that life is vulnerable. You dye your hair, change the colors of your clothes into black, where the shades used to cover your eyes like endless wiped out. Screaming for attention like a teenager was trying to find a way in life. Still reaching for higher ground. Need to climb the mountain without falling. Still reaching for higher ground. Need to climb the mountain.
Gonna stop it there, guys. We've just gone halfway through, and man, oh yes, it's brilliant. I love the structure of their songs as well. They don't take the normal route, I would say. I mean, I know you've got like verse, a couple of verses, chorus, a couple of verses, chorus. So it's doing that thing of structure, familiar structure. But the way they write, you know, the way it stops both times in that chorus, and you've just heard Christian Fair's smooth vocals. They don't take the easy route out. And this is what I love about this band. It just reminds me of the first time I heard Delirium. When I first heard the album, it was like, it sounds good. It sounds really like tight. It sounds smooth, and there's something about it. I do love it. But you know that is just it feels like a grower already. That I'm listening to it now, like it's come second time round in that chorus, and I'm there and I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be such a super smooth album. And those hooks and melodies slowly come, and they slowly come. I love the way that almost tribal feel in those verses, you know, when it gets going. It's fantastic, man. I love the songwriting. That's, for me, you know, I always say it's the songwriting. That's really what matters, you know. Of course, you've got to be a talented guitar player, a talented vocalist and all that. But in the end, the songs are the things that shine through. And I think that's what Seventh Crystal do. The songs are what matters in the end. I mean, I love everything about it. I mean, there's nothing really showboating yet. There's a nice bit of synth work. I did say to you, didn't I, that they like a bit of synth. The guitars are cool. Everything's good. Christian Fair sounds excellent. But it's the song. It's really about the song. There's no one showing off. No one's going out of the, you know, the wheelhouse of the song itself, outside of the scope of the song. Everyone's so tight. It sounds cool. But the song, you know, still reaching for higher ground. Already, it's like worked its way into me. And it can only get better from here as well. Let's listen to the rest of this, guys. Here we go. What an amazing song, man. I mean, like I said to you, when it broke into the solo, it was all about the song structure and the way the solo fitted the song, rather than, you know, going off on a tangent. Beautifully played, Smooth solo that was had so much class. Do you know what I mean? And then I did say about the piano at the beginning of the night that you know, it's quite Delirium. There's a lot of piano in it, and you saw that take centre stage on the second part of that solo, which I love. The guitar went a little bit in the background, although it was playing like a guitar melody. The piano came up front, which I don't know why I'm so happy about it, but it sounded fantastic. And then, of course, going into the last chorus, not stopping this time, really made it soar perfectly. You know, where both times before it sort of stopped into "You're reaching for higher ground." That the chorus so catchy now, and then that last verse that just soared because it went, you know, full in with the rhythm guitar and the bass and the drums. It was just perfect. What a perfect start to this album, man. I love Seventh Crystal. They are an amazing band. Of course, Wonderland's coming out in March. I think it is on Frontiers. Man, what a brilliant... I mean, I love the fact that they do their own thing. It's almost like, you know, way back in the 80s, near the end of the 80s, when like musicians were told to write songs certain ways. You know, we want a hit, we want a love song, we want a ballad, you know, we want a rocker, we want this, you've got to sound like this. It's almost like Seventh Crystal. It feels like, you know, everything's so catchy, but it almost feels like they do what they want, and that really shows in the music. It feels like there's a real passion within their music, and I love that. I love this band. I really fucking love them. You might be able to tell. I can't wait for the album in March, and it's good that it's coming out in March, coming out early in the year, because like I said, Delirium was a grower, and by the end of the year, it easily made my top albums of the year. It might not have done in March, in the beginning of the year, because I think that was the beginning of the year album. But by the time the end of the year hit, it was right up there. And, you know, I've got a feeling that, you know, having the whole year to listen to this near enough, 9 months of listening to it, is going to just be fucking brilliant. Probably my most excited, anticipated album I've heard that's coming out, you know, so far. I'm really excited for this one, I am, guys. Seventh Crystal, that was Higher Ground. That was amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys, and I'll see you soon.